Honorable Member for Central Badibu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the floor. Madam Speaker, a lot has been said about the budget, and I believe I'm not going to focus more on the first page, which deals with the projects, grants, domestic borrowing, and foreign borrowing, and capital revenue. But in short, we have a deficit budget, which is challenging and which is a great task ahead of all of us. I know, as my colleague rightly said, the Honorable Minister is representing the whole country and almost all the institutions that submitted their budget to him. Sometimes it's difficult to work under certain situations, but I think there are certain things that are not realistic, and they are going to be very difficult to achieve if we work with this kind of budget or with this kind of conditions. Madam Speaker, my first observation will be on the development budget, University of the Gambia, the campus project. In 2019, 70 million was budgeted, and 2020 it has been reduced to 23.9 million. I want the minister to explain why the reduction, because I believe that that project also should be completed by now. Since the students at the UTG are suffering, they don't have a place, they are perambulating from Faraba to MDI, from MDI to Brikama, and it's not cost effective to students. So I want to see why the reduction, and what is the, can the minister update us about that project? Whether do they have other international funders who are coming in or not? Madam Speaker, coming to the OP under the development budget, last year there was a budget line which has 14 million. I think this was on development buildings. And this year there is another budget line which is 9.6 million. I want the minister to inform us what type of construction is taking place in the State House there, and we would like to know as the Committee of Monitoring so that we can see the level of its implementation. All right. Madam Speaker, Basaye Fatoto Koinap Road Project, 41 million has been put in the budget. I want the minister to explain to us, this 41 million, is it on compensation or is it on what? Because we learned that some people need to be compensated, almost, which amounted to almost 55 million. So is this part of that or not, or how are you going to compensate people who are affected? I want you to consider that budget line, land compensation. If there is a need, we try to increase the compensation to people, because people, their farmlands are affected, their homes are affected, and they need to be housed. Madam Speaker, the Songhai Initiative Project, almost all the speakers talk about youth employment. I believe if investment is done on the project, Songhai project, or if it could be replicated in other parts of the Gambia, there we can address employment. Because young people will be trained on skills, and those skills can help them to be self-employed, or they can be employed by other private sectors. So our budget should be job-oriented. Our budget should be focused on recruiting or developing the skills of the people, or the minds of the young people, so that they can be employed. Now, Madam Speaker, if you come to certain ministries, like fisheries, tourism, IT, agriculture, I believe these ministries can help us to reduce unemployment in this country, provided that we make necessary investment into key sectors. Madam Speaker, we have our river lying down there. This parliament, we came into agreement with Senegal, China, EU. Now they are fishing in our water. What of our own Gambian people? How can we ensure that we create employment in that region? This is a question. This is what we should look at as a country, and this is what we should focus our budget to those areas. Madam Speaker, tourism and culture is dying in this country. We only focus on Senegambia and its environs. out of rural Gambia. So what is the ministry? What do we have for their budget? Not on recurrent, but in the development budget. James Island is collapsing, and we believe people in the North Bank region make a lot of income from James Island. How many tourists we are coming there? The road is horrible. The place is threatened with coastal erosion. And what is the ministry doing? We posed this question to the Honorable Minister of Tourism. Here, there was a particular year, there was a budget line for rehabilitation of James Island. We want to be informed as house. Where is that fund? How was it spent? And what do we have for them this year? If we want to create employment for young people, these are the areas that we need to look into so that people can come, private sectors can come in. Madam Speaker, coming to the health ministry, almost all the speakers talk about health in this country. And we say a healthy nation is a wealthy nation. Our health is in serious condition. I spoke here last time, I said Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital is more of a waiting center for your death. If you are referred, there are no hope for you. The next minute that your people will do to prepare for your burial. So I think our budget, the budget that we have before us, how much are we investing into health? We need to consider. And primary health care is dying here, Madam Speaker, in this country. If you look at our budget, we have a budget line for secondary and tertiary health institutions. But what of the primary health in this country? They are dying. And I think we need to invest more into those areas. Madam Speaker, coming to the new Ministry of Women and Children, under the budget code, I don't know, the budget, the budget percentage for that ministry is very small. And we all know that our women are vulnerable, they are suffering, they need support, they need to be helped, their health conditions are falling down. So I'm with the view that the members should try, we increase the allocation for that ministry. Moreover, we talk of social protection. We have old ages in our society. These people need to be helped. They need to be supported. Do you have anything for them in our budget? How are we going to ensure that they have a better health care? How are we going to ensure that at least they have an allowance at the end of the day? Those old people, they need right, they deserve right to survive. We have to know that they also serve this society. One day, Honorable Jara will be old. He needs assistance. So the budget needs to care for him. We have to start right now. So let us not allow these people to be only watchmen or watchwomen in our homes, but we need to cater for them. They are human beings. It's their fundamental right to survive and have a better life. Madam Speaker, coming to climate change is real. And in the budget, I believe our national budget must have commitment to our environment and to the climate change. Whether we care about our environment or not, the environment will care about us. So before the environment comes to take care of us, we need to do something. Madam Speaker, the Deputy Speaker made mention of prison. I believe in this budget, we should see a budget line for construction of new prison. But we are only focusing on people who are outside. Those inside, they deserve better life. They deserve better life. So therefore, I'm recommending there is a budget line at State House on I don't know, building or construction. Let it be taken to that side. We see to it that, and the vehicles also. State House also, we have a vehicle to buy new vehicles, 8.5 million. Let that money be put somewhere, either on the social protection or constructing a new prison for our brothers and sisters who are in the jails there. Mind you, they are human beings, and it's their right to live in a very good condition. If you look at the environment is very poor. It's not conducive. So they can easily get or acquire diseases within that environment. So I'm recommending to all of us to look at that area so that this year we have something in our budget. Not on personnel or not on salaries, but we need to have a new prison. Madam Speaker, mental health. Mental health is an increase in this country. Young people are getting crazy every day. I believe this area needs to be supported. We need a serious budget line for mental health. We need to do research what is responsible for our young people getting crazy both day and night, or getting sick, or getting mental imbalance. We need to do research on that. This area needs to be supported so that our young people, they are under good care. If you look at this, our society, most of the time, these people are not under good care. Where they sleep is very poor. The clothes that they put on is very poor. I believe we need to do something to ensure that they also enjoy their fundamental rights. Madam Speaker, under the budget line, I have seen the rehabilitation of Friendship Hotel, 1.1 million. I want the Finance Minister to tell us what revenue those Friendship Hotel is yielding for the country. And if there is, would that not be enough to use for maintenance rather than we have it here in the budget line? Subvention to councils. Honorable Speaker, I don't know, I went through the budget, but I couldn't be able to trace it out. So I want the Honorable Minister to inform the August gathering the subvention to the councils. This time we want to see to it that timely delivery of their suspensions. Because this subvention, this is what they do to do some developments in their communities. If we want to get real rural development, decentralization has to take place. This is what we mean by devolution of power. Everything cannot be centralized. We have to decentralize it. We have to ensure that they have funds to do some of their operations. Madam Speaker, we have what we call enhancing value addition in the groundnut. Yes, there is their need for it because our groundnut is serving as the primary export products in this country. But we need to do more research in this area. Why is it that the price of groundnut is falling in the world market? And we also need to know why is it that we cannot target the markets within our sub-region rather than depending on European markets. And Madam Speaker, coming to cashew nut, if you have value addition for groundnut, what of cashew nut? Cashew nut last year, the price has fallen down drastically. And most of the farmers now are into cashew farming. So I think we have to concentrate into these areas of production so that our economy can be stable. But if the production is low, if our export is low, we are importing more, therefore our economy is not going to be a stable economy. At the end of the day, there will be nothing like balance of trade. So in order to ensure that there is balance of trade, I think we need to ensure that the productivity goes up. Madam Speaker, most of the people talk about the allocation in the agricultural component that is small. For me, I'm not going to ask for any increment because agriculture, if you look at it, a lot of funds are going into agriculture. I think it's time to reflect on, it's time to monitor, it's time to see all those projects on agriculture. What did they yield for the past years? What did they yield? What were the outcomes of those funds that have been invested into agriculture? Before we allocate, we need to know what we allocated, how you spend it. We need to know. But we cannot be allocating for agriculture, always agriculture. We are not seeing that there is effect on the productivity. Food security is still a challenge. So why are we cutting? Why are we giving more to agriculture when we are not getting more from them? So that means something is fundamentally wrong. We need to find out what is wrong. Oh, are you talking about only increasing their recurrent? But what of the development budget for agriculture? We need to look into these areas. Madam Speaker, I have the following recommendation to all of us and the Minister. Let us cut down all the expenses, all the traveling expenses in almost all the ministries. Maintenance of vehicles, let us cut all of those in almost all the areas, including the National Assembly. Maintenance of building, maintenance of furniture, conferences, workshop, official entertainments, support. Yes, these areas need to be seriously cut down. If we want to move forward, if we want to make more savings, because this is the budget, this is what you have budgeted. Please, let's cut some areas and give it to other areas. But it has to start with us, particularly those in top positions. If we want our budget to be a citizen-friendly budget, it must represent the needs of the people. They must feel it. But as it is, it favors you and I, or some people outside there. But the masses, the majority of voters, they will not feel it. If medicine is not available in the hospital, they will not feel it. They will not know. And if people die because there is no medicine in the hospital, or dialysis couldn't be done because there are no dialysis machines, we are going to be responsible for their death. So in order to make our budget a citizen-friendly budget, I think we need to cut certain areas. And, Madam Speaker, there are a lot of leakages as far as our revenue collection is concerned. We need to address those leakages in order to make more savings. We believe by now we have enough technicians to move this country economically. But if you look at both macro and microeconomy of this country, it's sad. We are not growing. So the essence of having technicians and intellectuals is to liberate and emancipate the country both economically and politically. Politically, if we are free, economically we are not free, that freedom is compromised. That freedom is compromised. And we can be only free when we try to make sure that our budget is a budget that is citizen-friendly. Madam Speaker, I believe it's high time as a country we need to address these situations. We cannot be talking every year, the same songs. Since 1970s, you are singing the same song. The children cannot understand what type of songs that you are singing. Then there is something fundamentally wrong with you. So I think we should graduate from singing now